So this weekend marks the 40th anniversary of the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Even though it's the 9th here in Australia, and technically the 9th is going to be Sunday here, because it's going to be the 9th in the States, this weekend is going to be celebrating A Nightmare on Elm Street. Even though we celebrate A Nightmare on Elm Street all year round on this channel, even on the Cosplay Chris channel. But with that, we have a very exciting unboxing from my dear friend Christian Karlsson over at Glove Love Sweden. Now, that name rings a bell. Last year, I did an unboxing of his beautiful Part 2 glove. But what we have today is a As Seen Today template glove. Now, what do I mean by As Seen Today? Well, essentially how the hero glove from A Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2 looks today. Not only that, utilizing screen-used templates. Christian has teamed up with Mike Becker, the previous owner of the hero glove from the first and second Elm Street. As most of you know, that glove is now up for sale on the prop store. We thought it was going to go for about $1 million. It didn't end up selling, but it's still up there. You can see beautiful HD up close photos of it. The original leather is no longer a part of that armature. As far as I know, that leather was done by Mark Petrie over at Knife Gloves, but you can see all the beautiful details, not just on top, but also the undercarriage of the copper, brass, and stainless steel armature, which is absolutely beautiful. So what Christian has done, like I said, he's teamed up with Mike Becker. Mike Becker has offered him his templates from when he drew out the templates whilst possessing the hero glove. Mike used to make gloves, well, he still does, but he used to offer template gloves for the Part 1 and Part 2 glove. He mostly specializes in Part 4 gloves these days, but now he has handed the reins over to Christian to tackle his version of the template glove. So he offers the Part 1, the Part 2, and of course the As Seen Today. So we have an As Seen Today glove because the glove, quite frankly, went through the absolute ringer from Part 1 right up until today. But between Part 1 and Part 2, a lot had changed cosmetically and also under the glove. So I have here 2 boxes because we have to ship gloves to Australia in 2 boxes. We have to keep the tips separate because our customs are very fucking annoying. So what I'm going to be doing is unboxing it, showing you guys all the pieces up close, what's under the glove, because again, Christian has replicated the details inside the glove as well, stuff that you wouldn't see when you have the glove on. Now I have my pliers as well, so we're going to rivet the finger pieces together. I'm going to try it on, and I also have a very special posable hand that is currently housing my Part 6 glove from Dark Dream Design. I'm going to take that off, put the glove on there, and show you guys some lovely turnarounds. And again, this is just to celebrate the 40th anniversary and Christian's beautiful work. I mean, it's made in Sweden, so it's got to be fucking top tier quality, man. So I'm just going to put the tips here for now, and I do have some details that I want to touch on that Christian wants me to mention, but I'm going to mention them once the glove is assembled and I've got it on. So this is the main body of the glove. This is the lower section portion of the armature and the leather glove. And we have a little post-it note here that reads, "Thanks, Chris. Hope you will enjoy it. I'm gonna miss this one. Lol. Best regards, Christian." So apparently this is the one Christian had a lot of trouble letting go of. He was really proud of this one, which is, you know, making me all the more excited. We got some foam. Now I'm gonna read a letter before I take the actual armature out, because I'm actually going to shift angles and go down on the desk here, and that sounds really dirty. But I do have a letter as well as a fucking beautiful sticker. So that's Christian's logo, Glove Love Sweden template glove. Dude, you made stickers just for the template glove. That's badass. So here we go. This is essentially the certificate and a bit of history on him and Mike Becker teaming up. Dear customer, insert name here. I hereby would like to take a moment to say thank you for your recent glove purchase from Glove Love Sweden. This particular glove that you purchased is called a template glove and is offered by me, Christian Karlsson, and endorsed by Mike Becker, aka the Glove Father. It was made using the templates supplied by Mike Becker, who owned the original screen-used hero glove. The templates were taken from the original hero glove that was used in the first and second film of our favorite horror franchise. This glove is a true collector's item. It is not a toy, so take good care of it and handle it with care. Lots of love and many hours of dedication went into creating your glove to make it look as close as possible and giving you the feeling of owning the real deal. This was done using many HD close-up photos taken in person by myself from the original screen-used hero glove. These reference photos were taken at the time when the glove was on display in the United Kingdom in 2023. The original screen-used hero glove photos were studied for countless hours to make the closest replica with all the smallest details on it. Keep this letter with your beautiful template glove and enjoy it for many years to come. All the best, Christian Karlsson, Glove Love Sweden. So very amazing that Christian actually got to see the hero glove up close and personal at the prop store when it was on display. Here are some photos here of Christian studying that beautiful piece of horror engineering. So what I love is not only Christian has access to the templates, the man had access to the actual hero glove, seeing it up close, just taking all that beautifulness in, all the beautiful patinaing in as well, because the glove, again, cosmetically has changed vastly since 1984. Now, before we shift angles, this is a shot of the glove literally right off the assembly line, worn by Lou Carlucci, co-builder of the glove. So the glove itself was designed by Jim Doyle, who had a hand in fabricating bits and pieces, but the bulk of the work was done by Lou Carlucci and Charlie Blodnelli. Charlie's hands were used in the opening build sequence, but those two blokes were the main builders of the hero glove. And then we had a few plastic stunt gloves here and there, but this is essentially what it looked like, fresh, ready to go. And then as filming progressed, the index blade was broken for a deleted scene that wasn't used. The back blade had changed a bit. And then by part 2, they had sanded away all that beautiful charring on the copper pipe. The backplate had changed vastly. The blades had been sharp and dulled. The leather glove was getting more and more tattered. And then the glove was used for reference to build the part 3 glove, the part 3 hero glove for that matter. And it just mysteriously vanished until 2009 when Mike found it on an auction site that was listed as a prototype glove for a Nightmare on Elm Street 5, which, as he said, he knew that was complete and utter bullshit. So he contacted the auction house, submitted an offer for the person that did buy that glove. He got it, and he essentially found and resurrected the original hero glove out of obscurity, which is amazing. Now, years into Mike owning it, he did clean off the spray paint splatter. So what Christian is replicating now is how the glove looks today, minus the spray paint that for some reason was sprayed on the armature. It could have been one of those things when Scott Nesselroe, who created the gloves for part 3, wanted to see how it looked with a much more browner tone, and that's what he ultimately went for with the part 3 hero glove. But we are really fucking nerding out right now. So what I'm going to do is shift angles, unbox this thing, assemble it, put it on, and do some lovely turnarounds. Alrighty, we're going to start off with the tips, just the tip. So I'm going to go through each tip one by one because they all have different, beautiful, unique features. And it's gotten to the point where I'm such a glove nerd, I know each one just by sight. So beautiful packaging, nice and tight. That's what she said. So, okay, first cab off the rank is, which one is this? This is the middle finger, which is a beautiful one to start on. And again, we've got the rivets here ready to go. So again, Christian has replicated the solder spills of the ringlets inside the glove because there is a lot going on here. Now, particularly with the middle finger, see that residue right there? That is residue from a rubber band that was on the hero glove when Mike Becker found the glove in 2009. Christian replicates that rubber band residue, which is incredible. Give you a nice close up there. But the bends, everything, I just love how each tip has its own unique profile and personality. Okay, middle finger down. Next up we have, this is the pinky. So you can tell it by the pinky because of the blade bending inwards, the inward bend of the blade. And there's also remnants of the teeth, the Case XX P210 serrated edge teeth. And again, replicating the solder spills and how the ringlets were soldered inside the glove. It was actually quite a bit of a messy job when you look at it, especially with those prop store photos as well. This is the one which stands out the most. This is the ring finger. And if you notice, it has holes drilled on the side and wire threaded through. And this was actually a thing by the time they did the promo shots of A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. They had also removed some of the lower ringlets. Some, I believe, just fell off, again, because it wasn't a really good solder job. But yeah, you can see in this promo still right here of Robert posing with the glove, the wire right there. And again, Christian has replicated that to a T, and just the beautiful weathering on the blades as well, and just how blunt these were by the end of it. And last but certainly not least, we have, get that out of the way, the index blade with that famous index blade that was taken off for a deleted scene. A lot of people say it broke off, but apparently it was taken off for a deleted scene in the film. And again, each tip has its own profile, its own shape. Nothing is exactly alike. Even to the point where Christian replicates the bends of the ringlets, especially the index ringlet. It has a very squared off kind of look. All right, tips down. It's time for the rest of the glove. Ooh, here we go. Okay. Oh, this leather is so soft. And there we go. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Look at all the detail on those knuckle flats. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but can you see like some little dots there by the lower rivet? That is there on the actual hero glove. The bend profile of the back plate, just how it kind of ripples all the way up here. Christian has replicated this to a T. Now, even though the original leather is now gone on the actual hero glove and it's just a replica leather, but a damn good looking one at that, Christian has done pretty much the same, but he's also removed the ball. So it's very reminiscent of part 2, because in part 1, it still had its red oxide ball, but by the time part 2 rolled around, this thing had been used so much, it just popped off. And of course, we have that beautiful safety pin down at the bottom of the hem here. Now, one thing I forgot to show you guys is the undercarriage of the lower part of the armature. Again, replicating how the ringlets were attached, but also replicating how the knuckle flats were attached to the back plate. And a lot of people don't know, a lot of them were like soldered in place and just kit bashed and Frankenstein because they were getting loose. And Christian has also engraved his signature and everything on the underside of the back plate, which again, that attention to detail that people just don't see on a glove. Okay, so I've got my multi-grip pliers, and what I do is I tape off the toothed areas so we don't damage the rivets, you know, especially when you want to replicate a certain look or weathering pattern of the rivets, because they definitely shift. You know, some are very dirty, dilapidated, and, you know, patinaed, where, like, for example, the part 1, part 2 glove, but then you got clean nickel-plated rivets like the part 6 glove. So I tape them up that way we don't damage, we don't scratch, we don't do anything. So I'm going to work my way backwards. We're going to start with the pinky and finish up on the index finger. So just double checking that is the pinky. Yes. Sure that lines up. All right, you fucker. There you are. Okay, you don't want to go too hard. Okay. Pinky, done. Damn, this is a good looking glove. I'm getting very distracted. Next up is the ring finger with the wire ringlet, which I think is a great little detail. Not a lot of people know. And like, just by the time part 2 rolled around, they did those promo shots. The glove was so fucked up, man. And again, it's one of those things where it's just a prop to the crew. They didn't realize all these years later that this thing possibly was going under the hammer for nearly $1 million. It's insane. Okay, let's make sure that's got good movement. Middle finger done. Fun fact, they swapped out the rivets on the index stall as well. They used bigger rivets instead of the regular medium size, I guess you could say. Just hear audible moaning and grunting as I rivet this thing together. Cool. Alrighty. Pop the leather fingers back in and try this on. I'm so excited. This leather is soft as well. I'm not sure if this is a Carolina that Christian uses, and they're usually the best when it comes to part 1, part 2 style gloves. Oh, I'm like excited and nervous. Oh. Now, as always, when you wear a part 1/part 2 glove, tuck the leather up like so, grab your drawstring, pull it in, pull it upright. Oh, and there we go. Look at that. Oh my God, it's beautiful. This probably fits my hand the best. Like, I have tiny hands, but my God, this thing is beautiful. Now, also this, look, I call it a split pin, but a paper rivet, a paper fastener was eventually used on the pinky. And that's exactly what Christian has used, just the way it moves. Sorry, burp. Oh man, this is gorgeous. Look at that. Like I was saying, I have very small hands. Beautiful weathering, the caramel or caramel, some of you guys pronounce it. Okay, I'm getting very carried away. So what I'm gonna do, take this off, take the part 6 glove off that hand. I'll actually show you the hand that I use. I got it last week at Sugo Toys here in Sydney. It cost me $99, but the best $99 I've ever spent when it comes to displaying a glove. Now actually, before I pop it on the display hand, just like replicating some of the promo stills, everything, even the way the leather bunches. Like, I'm getting super nerdy, but it's just the way it looks, and it just has that really bone claw-like aesthetic when it came to part 2. Just, I keep finding new things to look at, the details, everything. Like, especially when you do a pose like that, or like, you know, when Robert was doing that or that. Just, it's fucking beautiful, man. All right, enough chit chat. Well, we're gonna do more chit chat, but put this puppy on the display hand. So this is the display hand that I got from Sugo Toys, which is like a Hot Toys, you know, sideshow stockist shop here in Sydney. And this thing was $99, but it flexes and moves in every fucking angle possible. Like, to do classic Freddy poses like that, it just works. Again, 99 bucks, but you can find them cheaper online. And as well, it does like a proper palm splay, everything. So this is going to be our display to get some nice, beautiful, gorgeous detail, up close shots of the glove. Thumb in there. It's the thumb that always is the problem with these types of display hands. Okay, make sure they all line up. Now if I turn this around and do up the leather in the proper way, fold that over, pull string, that is sexy. Hang on, wait. Hey! There we go. You can see the wire there and just the color shift of the glove itself. Like, it just shifts colors all the time. The soiling on the glove, and that is beautiful soft leather too. And you can see the safety pin there. You can see the weathering even under the backplate, the split pin, the paper rivet, whatever you want to call it, the weathering on the knuckle flats. Because even though Mike cleaned the glove, there were remnants of the spray paint around the knuckle rivets, which is great. It just makes it all the more grimier, grungier, dirtier, just beautiful details that not a lot of people realize are there. Now, I'm actually just going to go back. So you see even there, even that little dent there where it was like, I wouldn't call it a mistake, but just it wasn't cleaned up properly on the pinky stall there. That is there on the Hero glove. It's insane. Just all the details that have been picked up on this glove. Again, the remnants of those reds, because again, they sanded away the original finish on the copper after part 1. And you can see remnants of the brazing pattern. You can also see the teeth of the Case XX right there. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna grab my Case XX. Stand by. All right, so here's my original Case XX. And you can see right there. Hang on, get that match up. There you go. You see the teeth on that. He's even matched the remnants of the teeth there that weren't ground away on the original prop. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing of Christian Karlsson's beautiful template as seen today glove. Like, this is something I'm going to keep finding details on. So if you're in the market for a very high-end Freddy glove that comes from screen used templates, highly recommend either picking one of these up. Christian also does the part 1 where it's got a lot more charring on the copper, but also the cleaner, more caramelized look of the part 2 glove. I've got a part 1 from George Lang, Christian's beautiful part 2 glove. So there definitely is a very big difference with the finishes. Like, after a lot of time had passed, the glove had gone through the absolute ringer, but I absolutely love this thing. So much so I'm actually thinking of getting another display case that my Nightmare Batman Hot Toy is currently in just for this glove. It's such a thing of beauty. You hit those poses and it looks like the part 2 promo, the wire, everything like that. Like, it's so fucking nerdy. I love it. As always, I will leave Christian's details down below. Go hit him up. He does incredible work with incredible customer service. And again, made in Sweden. That shit's gonna last forever. Love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.